Okay, I'm back. Today we're going to learn how to do greater or less than with fractions. So the first question is greater or less than. The first thing I tell my students is you cannot do anything unless the denominators are the same. We have a 5 on the left, we have a 10 on the right. That symbol tells my students that they need to multiply. 5 times 10 is 50. Then I tell that this denominator goes and visits their neighbor, which is 3. 3 times 10 is 30. The other one, denominator, go visits its neighbor. You multiply and you get 45. The denominators are the same. I tell my students to check them off. And what's bigger, 30 or 45? 45 is bigger. That's how you do that type of a question. The next question is adding fractions. Just like the question above, the denominators are not the same. So you're not able to do anything. Make the same symbol. My students know how many times. Now we have the same denominator. Check. That means yes. Visits its neighbor once again. Becomes a 4. Visits its neighbor. Becomes a 3. Don't forget to drop the symbol. You add. You get a 7, 6. That's an improper fraction. So we have to do what I made my students understand. It's very simple. You ask yourself if the numerator is bigger than the denominator. If the answer is yes, I tell my students to make a mental thought saying yes. That does not mean it's a 1, it just means a mental thought saying yes. You bring the denominator here again, and then you subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. How many little bubbles or mental thoughts do I have? I have 1. So I have 1 and 1 6. If I check my answer, the denominator is the same. 6 plus 1, 6 times 1, is 6, plus 1 more is 7. These numbers match. Now, are there any questions? Okay, so I have a subtraction question. So, good. So the same thing. The denominators have to be the same. So I times them. 10 times 2 is 20. I have this neighbor, the number go visit. That's 18. That's 10. You subtract. They're both the same, so I could do the work. It's 20. 18 minus 10 is 8. Now, you should be able to reduce that number. So, we'll need to know the factors. And the numbers I have the same are 4 and 4. So the answer 2 on the top, 5 on the bottom. Last question is now, I tell my students, this is a little bit easier. This only works when there's tens and hundreds. To make one denominator the same as the other one, I just add a 0. Since I add a 0 at the bottom, I add a 0 on the top. Now they're the same. I add. The answer is 11 hundredths. I tell my students 2 zeros means 2 lines. So the answer becomes, if I want to make it equivalent to a decimal. Hopefully these videos have been useful, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much.